with high ESG scores. And they do this not just with companies, but with countries. So places like Sri Lanka and the Netherlands followed ESG guidelines and got in huge trouble and had massive political disruption as a result. So what do you do about this? Well, Vivek Ramaswamy has spent his life in finance and been really successful in that. And he's got a brand new idea to slow this down. He's using his stakes in Disney and Apple to awaken the population to how terrible ESG is. Vivek Ramaswamy is also an author. He wrote the book Nation of Victims, which is excellent, and he runs Strive Asset Management. He joins us tonight. Vivek, thanks so much for coming on. So how does this is one of these trends that's so clearly bad for the country and for individuals, but no one can do anything to slow it down. Tell us what you're doing.
Sure, and the problem is really pretty simple, Tucker, is that if you have an investment account, chances are a large investment manager is using your money to tell companies like Apple, like Chevron, to fight systemic racism with a racial quota system, or to fight climate change by drilling less and applying emissions caps. And if you want them to deliver that message with your money, then that's fine. But if you don't, then you have a problem. And so the solution that I developed was to launch Strive. We've launched 2 new funds. Our first fund was a U.S. energy fund called DRLL, Drill, listed on the New York Stock Exchange, that tells energy companies like Chevron to drill more, to frack more, to do whatever allows them to make the most money. And then we launched our second fund, which we announced today, STRV, Strive, on the New York Stock Exchange. And I sent a letter to the board of Apple, sent a letter to the board of Disney, telling them to get out of politics and focus on their products. To Apple, telling them to focus on merit rather than race, sex, or politics in their hiring practices, as they're doing with their racial equity audit, and telling Disney to get out of politics altogether and go back to focusing on their business. And so for Americans who want to deliver that message with their money, I felt they deserved an option. That's why I launched Strive. That's why we launched these 2 funds. And I hope this is the beginning of a new movement in capital markets, Tucker, because I think we need it.
Because they're not going to listen unless there's real money behind it. Do you think they're going to pay attention?
Look, I'll actually tell you this. I was launching my book in New York last week, but I took a break during my book tour where the CEO of Chevron asked me to have dinner with their CFO. We had dinner at their invitation in New York City. At the end of the day, I think that a lot of people behind closed doors may want to go in the direction we want to go. We're going to have to say it out loud on behalf of everyday Americans. That's why I wanted to give them a choice. And hopefully we drive some change. We'll see.
I think a lot of these people don't want to go along with it. I think that's really smart and true, and you would know. Vivek Ramaswamy, thank you for doing that.